Hi, Peter Charles here, Hooked for Life Fly Fishing, and today we're going to tie a fairly easy pattern. It's a mono caddis. It imitates a caddis pupa, and it's a micro pattern. In other words, it's size 24 to 20. And you're going to say, that's kind of tiny. Well, you might as well get started with tiny patterns sooner or later, because when we're fishing late summer and early fall, fish are onto the micro patterns, so we might as well get used to them now. So let's see how we're going to tie this and the materials we're going to use. Now the hook we're going to be using is a sedge hook. You can see the size of the hook compared to my fingertip. It's a size 20. You can go right down to a 24. This is very tiny caught flies. I mean, these are small hooks, so it's a good practice on getting used to doing that. Our thread is an 8/0 in olive. Now the interesting thing about this pattern is you can use a variety of different colored threads. Light olive, dark olive, brown, for example, various shades of brown. They'll all work, and the reason why is our body material is mono, in this case 4-pound test mono, and it's got a green tint to it, and so any color you put underneath that green mono comes up sort of a combination of the green and whatever you put underneath. It ends up being natural because it's a combination of two colors, and so it doesn't look like something that comes off of a shelf, and plus it's translucent, which is really cool. And finally, our thorax for our legs and our head are going to be this super fine black dubbing. Just need a little dab at the end just to give the indication of a head and a thorax and legs. So let's get started by tying on our thread. Next, we're going to tie in our piece of mono for the body. Keep it on top, nice and tight. And now just keep tension on the mono and work the thread all the way down around the bend. And I'll just start coming back up. I'll trim that bit off there. Careful you don't cut your thread when you're doing this. Put a half hitch here. Use my bobbin holder to get the thread out of the way. Now when you're wrapping this, try and get touching turns all the way around. And if you see it flipping like it just did on there, just take a moment, straighten it up. Try and get your turns touching. Don't be afraid to move them around a little bit. Now don't crowd the head when you're getting close. Leave it about there. Maybe one more turn. That's it right there. Now when you cut this off, make sure you don't cut your thread off. Now you see it's made a bit of a lump, but that's going to get hidden by the dubbing, so don't worry about it. It's hard to trim that mono and get it very close to the body without cutting your thread. And if I've got too much dubbing, take some off. Now we'll just come in with a half hitch tool. Put a few of them in there. Trim off the thread, I get rid of the stray bits there. And there we go, our Micro Caddis, our Micro Mono Caddis. And it's a very effective pattern. I've done very well with it in the past. It has a nice translucence to it. You can see the body color of the thread through the wraps of the mono, yet the green mono has its own color that adds to it, and it's a proven fish getter. So give it a try, the Mono Caddis.